Am I live? Is everything working? It's been a little while. Hello, test, test, test. Hello, test, test, test. It's working. Hello. Hey, why can't I see the chat on here? That's not fair. The whole reason I added this thing. So in OBS, you can have the YouTube control panel, but for some reason, it doesn't show you the chat. I don't think. Nope, doesn't show you the chat. That's stupid. It's right there though. I want to be able to have the chat right there. God damn it. Here I am thinking, oh, this will be cool and blah, blah, blah. Oh, this will work because the Twitch layout has a dashboard where you can have everything. I was like, oh, that'd be nice if you can have that on for when I stream on YouTube too. Nope. Doesn't work the way I want it to, I guess. But yeah. Anyway, welcome to the stream. I have an album coming out this week. Alright, I just had to put something in Discord quick. But yeah, welcome to the stream. I'm using a new camera. I used it to stream one other time. So hopefully. And the thing is, with this, I used to use just an old camcorder. Where did I put that? I used to use this. I used this guy for a long, long time. Since like 2019. I used this. But, and it works, and it still works perfectly fine, especially for streams and stuff like that, which I don't stream super often. I haven't streamed in like 2.5 months, something like that. I looked today, and I think the last time I streamed was like July, so it's been a minute since I streamed in general. But I But yeah, I'm using a new camera. It's a Canon M200, something like that. I bought it primarily for shooting music videos because the video we did for Oblivious, the first single off the new Software Failure album, we filmed it on that. Even though it doesn't look this good, it doesn't look like this in that video, but also, I don't know how to light shit. We filmed another music video this weekend that's coming out on Friday. I'm not gonna say for what song. But we shot another music video over the weekend and used the same camera, but it looks a lot better. My one thing is I wish I knew how to light stuff, because in here it's controlled, and it's like I have a light there and a light there, and that's all the light, and it's basically it's very simple to light a static shot, but when the camera's moving, it's like, I don't know. And I assume if it looks fine in real life, it'll look fine on camera, but I don't know. It's something I need to learn if we continue filming music videos guerrilla style, if you want to call it that, just kind of on our own. But anyway, that video is turning out well. I've noticed with those, I'll start talking about what I want to talk about in a minute. But I've noticed with editing the music videos, within the first day after we film them, they're already pretty much done because I get so excited about them. Because with Oblivious, I had that done pretty much the first day. We shot for like 3-4 hours it took, probably something like that. And then I came home. I kind of just sat around and ate for an hour. And then I started kind of going through the footage, making sure that everything was usable and looking through it. And then by the end of the day, I was up until probably like 2 a.m. or whatever working on it. And then it was pretty much what you see in that video. And same with this new video, because we shot over the course of 3 days because we needed Jacob to help us film it that first day. We needed a third person to help us. And then the second day we had to film at night, so it had to be dark. And then the stuff we filmed on this is Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Stuff we filmed on Sunday could have been filmed on Friday, but we didn't. We thought it would be easier to film it with Jacob, but then it was like after we filmed the majority of the stuff that Jacob was absolutely needed for, we decided, well, let's film this other stuff because it was kind of getting close because Bobby's been busy and he wasn't able to see his girlfriend, and Friday was going to be the first time he was going to be able to see his girlfriend in a while. So she was getting back to town at like 8:30, something like that, 8:30, 9 o'clock. So that was kind of Bobby's like hard out. So it was kind of like we were brushing up against that deadline a little bit. So that so the stuff we filmed on Sunday, we were like, we can wait and we can film that on either tomorrow or the next day. And then we filmed the other stuff that we needed, stuff that we absolutely needed Jacob for, because the stuff we filmed on Sunday was easier to film just the two of us. It would have been nice, and I guess we could have asked him, but Jacob's a very busy guy. We could have asked him to help us throughout the whole thing, but it was just to be courteous to his time and be like, hey, would you help us with this one day? We don't need you for the whole thing, and blah, blah, blah. It was just easier to just ask him if he wanted to help on that one day, but also I think he was busy those other 2 days. But to be fair, we didn't start filming on Saturday until like 11:30. I will say one thing about that. Filming at midnight in a rural town, and we were kind of out in the country filming on a gravel road. We were both in all black. We both said something to the effect of, "It's kind of sketchy," and I was like, "I know nothing's gonna go wrong, but it's kind of stupid that we're out in the country in rural North Dakota at midnight in all black filming." It's a little sketchy, but luckily, no one drove by. When we filmed at the same spot the next day, someone drove by, But that day we weren't wearing all black. But yeah, it was just funny. I was like, nothing's gonna go wrong, and I don't want to imply that anything will. But it's just a funny observation. And then we were filming part in town, but outside. We were filming something, and Bobby parked his car, and we were walking kind of a ways to kind of find the right spot. And Bobby's like, "Should I move my car?" And I was like, "If it would make you feel more comfortable." And he was like, "It would." I was like, "Well, then go do it, and I'll find where we're gonna film." But yeah. Anyway, that video is coming out on Friday with the album release. So, speaking of, I got an album coming out, baby. It's called Brainwaves. As you may have heard old Richard Stinks talk about. This is the cover. It's slightly different because yesterday I woke up and I started thinking about the cover and I was like, the background needs a little something. Because here, hold on, I can probably, yeah. Here's the original cover. I started thinking about it. I was like, it looks kind of, the background looks kind of plain. I don't know how I feel about it. And then I started thinking, I was like, wait, if it had like shards of glass type looking things in the background, that could look cool, especially on a smaller screen, because most people listen to albums on their phone and see album covers on their phone when it's playing down in the little hold on, because what I do most of the time is I have it like that, or on iPhones that's the case. I have it big, like, where did it go? Have it big like that, but then I have a feeling a lot of people have it like that, so way small down there. Having stuff like having a more dynamic background is more important. I don't know, this is dumb nerd graphic design stuff. Hi, hello, Skibbity Papagal. How are you doing? But yeah, anyway, I got an album coming out. The link's in the description to pre-save it. I think you can only pre-save it on Spotify, but yeah, fine. Well, hope to do better. But yeah. Anyway, in this stream, I'm gonna play the 2 singles we've released so far, and I will probably watch the behind the scenes for Oblivious. So yeah, for those unaware, I'm in a band called Software Failure. We have an album coming out on Friday, the 13th. And yes, that was intentional. Yeah, we have an album coming out on Friday. It's called Brainwaves. You can pre-save it in the description. You can also subscribe to the YouTube channel. That is also in the description. So yeah, we're going to listen to a couple of the songs. We're going to start with Oblivious. Hello everybody, I'm Richard Stinks, and before you ask, yes it does. And yes it is. Anyway, that was Board Shorts by the Apple Tree Method. Why did they name their band that? It's not funny, it's f***ing gross. Anyway. No, the Apple Tree Method is not a real band. It's a dumb inside joke between me and Bobby that I'm not going to reveal. Because it's funny to just keep it a mystery. Anyway, here's a new band, hot off the press. Fresh, Farms Market Fresh. It's called Software Failure. They're having this new album come out called Brainwaves, alright? Here's their new song, Oblivious. Thank you, I appreciate that. That means a lot.
Gummy Bear album this November. I kind of like that one.
And that was Oblivious. I don't know why I like the vocals so much. That guy's voice is amazing. I'll let Bobby know you said that, because he'll appreciate it. Because I don't know. We haven't talked about it much, me and him, but I'm sure he's self-conscious about how his voice sounds. I guarantee it, because there's very few times, but I have sang backup vocals. Only once on the new album, but it's when you're not a singer, and even then, Bobby's not a singer, but he was kind of with the band. He's kind of forced into it because just the two of us, and I can't sing and play at the same time. So to sing what he sings while also playing drums and playing with a person that doesn't know how to play music, that's me, is very impressive. And Bobby's a fucking great musician. But yeah, so that video, we filmed at Bobby's girlfriend's garage, and it was fucking hot. Because there's no AC in there, and it was like had to be up around 90 degrees, something like that. It was hot. All three of us, our friend Mason, who was at the start of the video and played Richard Stinks, helped us film it, and all three of us were just drenched in sweat by the end of it. But the video turned out really well, and honestly, the sweat, because there's a few shots where you can see Bobby just glistening because he's right in the light, the red light. He's right in the light, and you can see the sweat glistening off of it. But yeah, hope you two get big one day and have a better studio. Hey, that's the goal. But yeah, all three of us were just drenched. It was hot. We went outside and we're like, fuck, it's way cooler out here. But yeah, also the kind of what we were going for with that video was kind of like a MTV Nirvana vibe. Nirvana doesn't really come across very much, but my shirt, I drew this. It's supposed to be hold on, I'll pull up the picture. It's supposed to be a reference to this shirt, because I don't know how well you can read it, if there's any decent shots of it. Yeah, this shirt says "Hi, how are you?" but instead on this I wrote "Hi, how high are you?" It's always funny. And then Bobby's dressed. It kind of is based off of, where's that picture? What we're wearing is sort of based off of this when they played at the VMAs, I think. But yeah, that was the intent. As I kept editing the video, I was like, this isn't very Nirvana-y, but it's still like that. It still, regardless, has that like 90s, 2000s type vibe that we were going for, MTV era type of thing. And then also with the intro, and then the with the band name, song title, album, record label. Yeah. And for me, I kind of went I mean, it was sort of, it was loosely based off of both the VMAs thing, um, and the Live at the Paramount video Nirvana did. Um, so that's why we kind of oriented ourselves like that, me on the right, him on the left. And then even I had a chorus and a distortion pedal, just loosely because I do have an actual pedal board. But I did it like that to make it more Nirvana-y. But yeah. Anyway, let's watch the bloopers. Oh yeah, also the Richard Stinks thing, by the way, at the beginning of that video. So funny. So much fun filming. Because I had a I have I had a script for Mason to read. And before we started filming, I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna do it or if we'll have Mason do it. But I was like, Bobby, read this. What do you think? And he was like, yeah, that's good. Um, but then Mason showed up. He was wearing what he was wearing besides the sunglasses. The sunglasses were mine that I brought. Um, but he was wearing that cowboy hat and and a white shirt. And I was like, he he pulled up and Buffy's like, look what Mason's wearing. I was like, he's definitely gonna be Richard Stinks. That song deserves at least 10,000 views for all that work. I appreciate that. And I've been making videos and everything for a long time. And I kind of feel like a dick when I say this, or when I've said this over the years, but it's very true. The only way to get more ears and eyes on what I do is to share it. So if you have a friend that enjoys uh, this type of music that we make, um, share it with them, and that goes a long way in terms of being a smaller band like we are. It goes a long way, and uh, yeah, something that can go in even further, um, in terms of our appreciation, is if you want to. There's no pressure in terms of doing this. This is just kind of if you would like to support. Um, we're putting the album out on Bandcamp, as well as Spotify and Apple Music and everything. But notoriously, Spotify and Apple Music don't pay their artists well. So if you would like to support the band in a much better way than just listening to it on Apple Music or Spotify or YouTube, um, make sure to buy the album on Bandcamp, um, because artists make, especially independent artists, make way more money on Bandcamp, and there's also merch. So if you go to softwarefailure.spring.com, I think is the link. No, softwarefailure.creator-spring.com. Or you can just go to any of the Software Failure social media and click the link tree, and it'll be there under merch, I believe. So, but that's just if you want to monetarily support us. Listening to the music is more than enough. That is more than enough. I'll tell some friends about you guys. I appreciate that. But yeah, that's the only way artists get bigger. And anytime I say that, whether it's people saying that about my YouTube videos or the band, it's like I kind of feel like a dick for saying it that way, but it's true. That's the only way things get more popular, as opposed to being like, oh, you should be a bigger YouTuber than you are. Your band should be bigger than it is. And it's like, well, it's not going to do anything unless you tell people about it. That's the only way people are going to find out about it, because we're not going to get covered on fucking Rock Feed or Loudwire or Blabbermouth. So it's like, it's all word of mouth at this stage. So, yeah. Anyway, my big long rant is done. Let's watch the Oblivious bloopers.
My name is Richard Stinks. This is my story about how software failure abused and mistreated me to film all this fucking shit. Like they wanted me to say, software failure has a new album coming out called Brainwave, and software failure has a new song coming out called Oblivious. It's coming on now. Please listen to it. Did I do it right this time?
Oh, I don't know if I finished what I was saying about Richard Stinks. I may have interrupted myself. I can't remember. But yeah, we filmed. I had a script for Mason to read, and then he read it. He did a couple takes, basically saying verbatim what I said, and then for 15-30 minutes, I can't remember how long it was, but for a while he just went off just improving different shit, and you can see it in this video. And this is like one of like the last quarter of the ones he did. But yeah, he did a phenomenal job as Richard Stinks. It's fucking awesome. A lot of it unusable because he says stuff you're not supposed to. But funny. The ones that we could use are pretty much the ones that are in the behind the scenes. Those are pretty much the only usable ones.
Come on. Oh yeah, this shit looks good. Did you want 21 Pilots, but a lot more gay? I got a fucking band here. There's a twink, it's a little twink and then big twink. I don't know what they do when they're not playing, but when they're playing, oh my god, it's almost like they're fucking. But not actually, because that's they get in trouble.
You think I'm insane? 'Cause I do say.
Funny thing about this, we started to do a take where Mason was just walking around filming us. Like I guess you call it action shots or whatever. I call it a roaming shot. We started, and there was this automatic like sensor light that was like right above us. That was kind of the main light, or was the main light. All the other lights were off, because otherwise it looked too much like a garage. It still looks pretty garagey, but it looked too much like a garage if we had these big fucking bright fluorescent lights or whatever. But this light kept going off every once in a while. But we started this take, and this song starts playing, and then the light turns off after like the first round of the riff, and I go, the light, and he goes, and then Mason goes, fuck the light, and then I was like, okay, and then we did a take with the light off, and none of that was usable. I was like, maybe it could be cool to have one to cut to, but then I was like, you can't see shit.
And 999 and 1,000. Hey kids, you want to get a jacked with me? Smoke. I couldn't think of anything.
It was too hard to include the context for that, but that was right off of the heels of Mason doing a take where he was comparing the album and the song Oblivious to different types of cigarettes. He was like, that Software Failure has a new album coming out called Brainwaves. It's like the sweet taste of a Marlboro Red. And this song I'm going to show you, Oblivious, bit more like menthol or something to that effect. It was so funny. I've thought about, I need to float this by Bobby, but I thought about after the album comes out to release that and have the caption be, we're trying to expand our audience. But I don't know. I need to see how Bobby would feel about that. But it was funny. And then after that, he grabs these two weights that are just sitting there, and he only thought out the 999 and 1,000. And then he's like, if you want to be as jacked as me, smoke. But yeah. Anyway.
Curtains falling, my T-ball will you see it?
I haven't heard much of it, but they had some concert in a garage at his girlfriend's house. I didn't go, because why?
Does that look good?
Were you happy with that one?
Forgot to hit the record button.
You were fucking with me, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
He left me floating in fucking me and not actually hit record for like half a second. But in my memory, before I watched that back, it was like 3-4 seconds. It was like, in my head, this is how long that back and forth lasted. I didn't hit record, and I was like, "You're fucking with me, right?" Yeah, it felt like that long, but in reality, it was. I didn't hit record. You're fucking with me, right? Yeah. It was so much faster in real life, but for me in my head, it was like 30 seconds of silence. Because in that 3 seconds, my brain was like, fuck. Fuck, god damn it, we have to do that again. Blah, blah, blah. Song reminds me of something my parents would play in the car at night. I choose to take that as a compliment. And I'm assuming you mean that as a compliment, but I could also take that negatively. I don't know how I would, but I could. Anyway, now for the most recent single. Bad Penny. Fun fact, I meant it in a good way. I assumed you did, but I don't know. I feel like some people could take that negatively, but I don't know. Anyway, on to Bad Penny. Funny story about this song before we get into it. There were a few times when we were recording the album where I got upset because, like I said before, I don't really know how to play music. And primarily, I don't know how to play to a click track, which is, for those who don't know, a metronome. That basically keeps you on beat. I'm dumb and I don't play music right. So the whole time we recorded the album in 4 days. And each of those 4 days, whenever I had to record my bass, it was hell. And Bobby had to basically conduct me the whole time while Alan, who helped us produce the record, and he also mixed it and everything. While Alan was kind of making sure everything was also on beat. But basically Bobby was conducting me, making sure I was on time with everything and letting me know when sections changed. But yeah, this song is, and there were plenty of times because of me thinking that I'm on time, but them telling me I wasn't on time, I would get upset. Not at them, just in general, at the situation. I wouldn't be upset at them. I wouldn't be upset at them or at myself, just at having to do it again. Just at the whole situation. I don't know if I'm describing this great, but it wasn't anything against Bobby or Alan. And it wasn't a self-deprecation thing either. It was just, I was getting upset at the situation of having to play a certain part in the bridge where it goes to the dana 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 riff. I'll point it out when we get to it, but getting to that riff, I just couldn't play it on time for whatever reason. And then there was one point I was holding my pick, and this was after like 12 takes of me being off time or whatever. And I was like, fuck. And I chuck my pick. It hits the back of Alan's monitor because the way it was set up was basically I was sitting here. There was a small little desk with Alan's computer and monitor on it. And then there was Bobby and Alan, or whoever wasn't tracking, was sitting on a couch right in front of that. Sorry, but I have to go now. Well, have a good night, Skivvy. Hope you listen to the album when it comes out, and I hope you enjoy it. But yeah, anyway, I got upset and I throw my pick, and it hits the back of the monitor, and it falls into, like this bucket with a bunch of cords in it, and then Bobby's like, "Go pick it up." And then I reach into my pocket and I pull out another pick and I go, this is why we bring multiple. Then we went back to it, and then eventually I was like, why don't we just try recording it without a click? Because it's just me there. I don't have to adhere to anything, and I don't think it's gonna make that big of a difference. It's only gonna jar. The average listener is not gonna notice that it's not on a click. So who cares? It's supposed to be kind of an unruly section anyway. But yeah, so we ended up recording it not to a click, and then they were like, okay, that's fine. And they were like, it sounds fine, and doesn't, and it's not a huge departure from the rest of the song in terms of timing, I don't think. But also at the same time, I don't know music. So anyway, Bad Penny, the song I got the most upset while recording. But also, ironically, one of my favorite songs on the record.
I try to keep it out of sight. You're disregarding what is right. Make excuses full of lies, but they come as no surprise. You just don't wanna believe the truth. This all stems from what you choose. All I felt and what I've done, I could never throw up. All you do is bring me down. Always hate when you're around, and all you are is a bad penny.
I love that part.
Cannot wait for you to
That's Bobby's idea, by the way, the Bad Penny.
we all disagree. Take a look at what you sold. Try to stay in your own role. I'm just waiting for the day that it all just goes away. All I felt and what I've done, I could never throw up. All you do is bring me down. Always hate when you're around, and all you are is a bad.
This section up here is the one I was talking about. Love that fill, by the way.
All I felt and what I've done, I could never throw up. All you do is bring me down. Always hate when you're around.
Bad Penny. So yeah, that's Bad Penny. My favorite of the singles that have come out so far. Don't get me wrong, I like Oblivious, but yeah, I don't know. It feels weird picking favorites publicly. I can choose favorites in terms of songs all I want on my own time, and I know what songs are my favorite on the EP and on this record, but publicly to say, oh, this song's my favorite, or I don't care for this one as much as this one, blah blah blah, it just feels weird. So yeah, anyway, that's basically all I want to say. I want to let you know that the album Brainwaves comes out on Friday the 13th. Yes, that was intentional. Funny story about that, actually, about putting it out on Friday the 13th. We were looking at dates in the end of July, beginning of August, to find a week where we could put out where we wanted to put out the record. And we were looking, and it was like, oh, we could put it out. We could put it out the 6th. We could put it out 20th. Blah blah blah. We were looking, and I was like, second week in September is Friday. That Friday is Friday the 13th. Put it out on Friday the 13th. That'd be really funny. And Bobby was like, yeah, I'm fine with that. And I was like, okay, sweet. And funny enough, when we started the band, or not when we started the band, but when we named the band Software Failure, because we had another name before it, but then found out there was some other artist on Spotify and Apple Music and everything with the name that we had, which was, in retrospect, Software Failure is a lot better name. But initially the band was called Mike Head, which it's okay, but it's not as good as Software Failure, I don't think. But anyway, when we came up with that name, I was like, I like it, but do we really want to have the name have the word soft, or calm down, speak. Do we really want the word failure in our name? And I was like, is that a bad omen? And blah blah blah. And Bobby was like, it doesn't bother me. I was like, yeah, you're probably right. I'm probably being over dramatic about it. And then I brought that up when we decided to put out the record on Friday the 13th. Because if you just look at, like, oh, the album comes out on September 13th, cool. And then you're like, wait a minute, that's a Friday. It comes out on the 13th. Friday the 13th. Weird. So yeah, hopefully it's not any sort of a bad omen, but I don't know. It just was funny, so we decided to do it. So yeah. Also, music video and lyric videos for all the songs coming out also on Friday. Assuming I get all of them done. That's a shitty thing about being an independent band. You want to try and do all these things that big bands do, like fucking Metallica and Linkin Park and Royal Blood do, and Green Day and Foo Fighters. You want to try and do all the things they do around an album release, like put out lyric videos and music videos and stuff like that. But then you realize, oh shit, that all falls on me, because Bobby doesn't know how to edit. He doesn't know how to do any of that shit. So it all falls on me. But that's fine, because I like doing that stuff anyway. Like I said, both music videos I've gotten done pretty much within a day. Granted, I've worked on them for more than a day, and I'm glad I didn't just say, okay, it's pretty much done. This is how it's going to go out after that first day. Because in the subsequent days of working on it, in terms of Oblivious, there has been that I ended up adding stuff and being like, oh, I should use this shot instead of this shot, and blah blah blah. And oh, this isn't quite in time, let me adjust that for timing so it lines up with the song or whatever. But yeah, there's a bug flying around. Oh, also, by the way, I don't know if I'm gonna stream around the time the album comes out. I don't know if I'm probably not gonna stream on Friday. But there's a possibility I stream next week. But this might be one of the last streams I do in this house because we're moving. Anyway, just figured I mentioned that. So if the next stream I do, I'm in a different spot, I'll mention it then. But yeah, this could potentially be the last stream I do in this house. Shit, what was the last video I will have done in this house? Because I know for a goddamn fact I'm not making another video. Excluding the 10 years of the Dark Wolf Show video. The TikTok is ruining your attention span. So yeah. Oh, also, by the way, in terms of videos on this channel, because I kind of forgot I was streaming on the Dark Wolf Show. What was I saying? Oh, I have a video idea, but it likely won't come out till next year because I haven't even started writing it yet because I've been so fucking busy with we're moving. We're moving. The album's coming out. Yeah, and just a bunch of life stuff as well. There's a lot. There's a lot going on with this little guy. So yeah. Anyway, likely last stream from this house, unless I stream next week to talk about the album some more. But yeah. Oh, also by the way, on this channel, there's gonna be a full stream of the album, so you can listen. It'll be like I think the album's around 30 minutes. It'll be a full video of just the album and all the lyric videos. So it'll be kind of like a master cut of what's gonna go on the Software Failure channel. So yeah, that'll be coming out on Friday as well. So technically there is a video coming out, another video coming out this year. Anyway, I'm gonna leave that there. To anyone who hasn't already, please go over and subscribe to the Software Failure YouTube channel, and follow Software Failure on all the social medias. We're on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Did I say Instagram? We're on Instagram. But yeah. Anyway, for those who used to watch this channel, just know, just because I don't upload anymore doesn't mean I'm not still doing creative stuff. My creative focus has shifted over to making music, because it's just what is grabbing my attention right now. And I don't feel a need to explain myself. It's just what I want to do. Though every time it does come up, I get defensive. So I'm just going to say my creative focus is in music. Videos may or may not return in a regular fashion. Who knows? I'm having a lot of fun making music right now, and that is my main focus right now. So, yeah. Thank you, everyone who has listened to the music already, and thank you to anyone who will listen to the music in the future. So yeah, album comes out on Friday. You can pre-save it on Spotify with the link in the description, and you can find the Software Failure YouTube channel also in the description, and the on the Software Failure channel, the link tree to all the other social media is also linked. And I do want to say this one last thing before I get out of here. If you want to support the band in a monetary way, please, when we put out the album on Bandcamp on Friday, you can buy it there, or there is merch on softwarefailure.creator-spring.com. Those are the two ways to financially support us. So, thank you for all the support over the last 10 years and the last 3 years with Software Failure. So yeah, that's all. I'm ending the stream. I just wanted to share the music with the audience on here, and if anyone's just joining now, this VOD will be public. This will be the only public stream VOD because it's more than just me sitting and talking. There was a point to it. And also, I just want people to know about the music. So, yeah. Anyway, that's it. I'm leaving. Bye.